let's chat taxes and paychecks, kind of the overview here of things to make sure that we are good and ready for any and everything that will come our way tomorrow. So, first things first, why in the heck, and you're like, man, this is way back to the beginning. True. Why do we need to complete a W-4 form besides the fact you legally need to? Yeah, okay. How much do I owe in taxes? And I mean, you even could go so far as to say it's going to help figure out how many deductions you have, which might actually save you money as far as taxes go, which would be nice. So, yeah, but in general, it's going to let our employer know how much to take out as far as the taxes go. Oh, dear. What's the difference between a flat and a graduated tax rate? I'll let you ponder for a moment. Or even if you could give me like an example of what it would look like. Flat. Does flat mean zero? It's, yeah. Same rate for everyone. Sure. Doesn't matter if you make $10, $100, $1,000, $10 million, everybody's paying the same exact amount. Some states go that, some states go with the graduated. What would that be? Besides, hopefully, what some of you are doing soon. Yeah. So the rate increases as you make more money. You make more money, the government takes more of it. Still don't quite understand that concept, but hey. So we have a good chunk of states that are going to do that as well. So we've got to stay on top of that. Now, here comes the fun part. This is where I'm quickly going to find out if any of you did, I think, yeah, Friday's work at all, we'll say. 2 states that do not collect state income tax. There are 9 of them. Texas, okay, I heard that's 1. I'll just keep going. She's like, dang it, they're taking mine. Are any of the ones that you had on mine still going after all the ones they were floating out there? I think they're graduated. I don't have them on my list, but I will check again because there's another question coming up that might have that. Now I'm trying to remember. I think I've heard. Hang on a minute here. Those are the 3 I can remember hearing. Yes, but which one?
Is it South?
It is. Not bad. We got further on that one than I thought we were going to. I'm gonna admit. Anybody else with some things? I mean, we've already got 4. We were only asked for 2, so I won't holler too much. I think they're graduated. We're going to find out soon here if I'm wrong on some of this stuff, but I'm pretty sure the ones I wrote down are the right ones. Oh, yes. Nope. See, this is where I've got to watch my mouth because there's so many things I want to say on. Though there's ways to tell right away on who's got what, but nope. There's some out west. There's some in the middle. There's some way out west. What's that? Nope. I know you. I thought South Carolina would be one, but it's not.
What about Washington?
Washington State, not D.C. Okay. Now, some of the others might surprise you, actually, or maybe they won't. I'll help a little bit here. Nevada, they get enough coming in from Las Vegas that it just doesn't matter. Alaska, They get a lot from the oil industry, so they tend not to ask for a whole lot either. And out in the middle of nowhere, Wyoming. Sometimes I say they don't collect state income tax. There's like nobody to collect the tax from. So those are our states that don't collect any. And again, they find other ways to make money. I mean, I mentioned with Nevada, you've got Las Vegas. With Texas and Florida, you just have a larger number of people, and they also have higher, usually state sales tax is what they do. So everybody has to pay it, especially when you're states that have a lot of people coming to visit. So you can have the other people pay all your taxes. Not a bad idea. So again, just a good idea. And that might be something, again, if I change the question up slightly tomorrow, maybe, Chromebook would be a helpful thing. Just saying. Just saying. Okay. Number 4. Oh, dear. Patrick's gross income is $56 million this year. Can we tell we're talking about a pro athlete? The state income tax rate is 4.95%. Patrick is married and has 2 dependents. Calculate the state income tax he owes this year. So, now, the exemptions are not going to help him that much. We're just going to be honest about this. So, all right. So, Patrick made $56 million. Hello. But we get to subtract the exemptions. So, he's married. All right. That's worth a whole $4,000 in this case. And he has 2 dependents. They're each worth $900. So, I'm not even going to mess around with that other stuff. I'm just going to put it all in here this way. This almost makes me chuckle. All right, so after deductions, Patrick only owes tax on this much, $55,994,200 at 4.95%. Remember, you've got to divide that by 100. Oh, don't make it 4.95. Holy cow, the dude's already going to be paying a mint. So let's see how much the state government is going to be funded today. Hello. For doing absolutely nothing, the state will be collecting almost $2.8 million from so that can get a lot of programs going. That's not a bad thing. But just again here, subtract the dependents before you do the tax. Otherwise, that can cause a few problems. If Patrick is paid monthly, how much does he pay in state income tax per month? Monthly, 12, or if I said weekly, it'd be 52, or bi-weekly, it'd be 26. So we're just going to divide that big old number that we just got by 12. I can't even fathom that being how much I'm paying in tax every month. Like, that's like 3 years of salary, and that's paying tax in a month. That's why a lot of these athletes and stuff, where do they live? These states. Because, I mean, gosh, it can save you like $3 million. I mean, hey, it is what it is. It's something you want to pay attention to when you're making job decisions and career decisions and stuff like that when we get a little further along. Okay. Heading to the back. Missy lives in Iowa on her own and made $79,950 plus an additional $3,450 in interest on her investment accounts. Calculate the state income tax she owes this year. Okay. So first, we need to add those because, yes, you even have to pay taxes on stuff that you invest in and make money off of. So we're at $83,400 gross. That's how much we're going to be taxed on. So in her state, they have 4 brackets that they use, graduated. So for the first $6,000, she owes, make sure I do this right. Yeah. Okay. She owes 4.4% on that. So $264 on that first part. Oh, but we're not done. Oh no. From there up to 30,000. Now, let me explain this so we don't end up with an extra dollar or two here or there. Up to 30. To figure out what number goes here, you're doing that number minus the limit of the last one. So 30,000 minus 6,000 would be $24,000 that we're paying at this rate. So always subtract the last upper limit from the current to get what you're doing there. Let the taxes start racking up here. There will be a point sometime during this semester that we're actually going to be putting money in our pocket instead of giving it away to everybody. Okay, next one. We're still working our way through. So we look, we're like, okay, subtract 30,000 from the 75 there. That's 45,000, so that's what we're going to be paying at this next rate. Slowly inching its way up. Okay. Now, the last part. This gets a little more interesting. Because this last part, there's how much she had. Okay. So far, we have made it up to 75,000. So here, we're going to do the 83,400 minus the 75,000 that we've done already, because there is no number here to work with. So that number, 8,400, is what we multiply this last rate by. Now, there will be some tax charts sometimes that you get that'll actually make this work go faster, and we're going to see one here in a little bit. But otherwise, that unfortunately is the way we just have to kind of work our way through each one until we've covered our entire salary, and then just add all those up. And I'm going to keep saying what I always say. Even if you get lost somewhere or you make a bad multiplier, you move a decimal point to the wrong place, please keep showing me your steps, because there's normally ways that I can get you partial credit. I mean, sometimes you just move one thing and it messes everything else up. But if I see it, then I can just, say, hey, here's the one mess up, everything else is good, and work it through that way. Okay, so I said we were going to chat about this before. FYI, I'm not going to go into this right now. Know at least 3 states that follow the following tax laws. No income tax, we just listed all of those on the front page. Flat, that's a really big list, okay? And then graduated. So, I must say it again. If you did not get this in that assignment that I gave on Friday when you were supposed to be looking up some of these things, have your Chromebook ready, because all you'd have to write in is states with no income tax, Google, here they are. States with flat income tax, Google, here they are. It won't be hard to find. I'm just not going to rattle them all off right now, because I want you to have to do a little bit of searching, just a little bit. You're like, this hasn't been bad so far. Why? What the? Okay, this is just charts. This isn't a problem. Use the following charts for problems 7 and 8. Standard deduction for individuals, married, and dependents. So those are up here. You have to pay attention to if it's single or married when you're doing your taxes, because the incomes are totally different. For instance, come down here to the bottom. Joe's annual salary is $400,000. He is married with no dependents. Calculate the federal income tax he must pay using the graduated income tax scale. Okay, so here's the deal. When, where, and I'm just flipping things around here. First things first, we need to figure out, we need to do Joe's deductions. So married, if I look up at the top, that's a $25,900 deduction. No dependents, so that's the only deduction. Oh, let's see here, 374,100. Okay. So that is the amount of money we're going to base the tax off of. Here is the good news, if I'm paying attention to what's going on. At first, you would look at this and you'd say, oh my gosh, this is going to take forever, because the first bracket goes up to $22,000, so I got to do that. And then the next one goes up to $89,450, got to do that. This goes up to $190, I got to do that. This goes up to $364. You're like, I got to do 5 different things, and normally the answer would be yes, but thoughtful teacher here, here's what you're going to want to do. What's the highest one we're going to have to deal with? This one. Okay, because we barely get into it. Okay, so why is that important? Because read to the right, 74,208. You're like, okay, now where did that come from? That came from doing all of the maximum amount you could be taxed at the 4 places below that is where it came from. So I'll just tell you, you don't have to memorize this or anything. But the maximum you pay at the lowest level is $2,200. The maximum you pay at the second level is $8,094. That's with the 12% kind of working in here on some of these with our difference. The third would be 20,000. Oops, nope. 22,286. And as you keep going, that's where those 3 came from to get this. And then this is the other. So if someone made exactly $364,200, you would have those 4 every time. But those 4 add up to $74,208. So I don't have to do all that, though. Hallelujah. I'm just going to take that plus 32%, oh dear, 0.32 of the amount over $364,200. So let's do a little math. So we're going to do $364,200, and Joe had $374,100. So we're going to pay that extra big old tax on a mere $9,900. Good for us. Not that we're not paying enough tax already, but hey. 74,208 plus, we can even do this in one big step. So Joe, our buddy Joe, is going to end up paying $77,376 in tax. So if you have a problem like this, and we're going to have another one, number 8 similar, find that bracket that's going to include your person, and then just start working with the information that's next to it. That's one nice thing about the federal tax brackets, that we can do that. So let me do a little, we're going to do a little flipping on this second one, though. So let's see. Dominique Dominique makes $8,765 monthly. We need to know our annual if we're doing taxes, people. Don't get sucked in. If that changes to monthly or weekly or something like that, we better be ready. That's the number we're interested in, 105, 180. So similarly to what we did with Joe, once we know what the yearly income is, okay, we're going to subtract any dependent stuff. So married, okay, let's go back here. Married, I remember that, 25,900. And there's 2 children that are 1150 each. Yeah, tax break, 2,300 on the kiddos. So let's see what Dominique is going to need to be able to have ready to go as far as taxes go. $77,780. Okay. Just making sure I'm getting everything in here right. Yep. Okay. So now, 77,780. Did I do something wrong? Ah! I did. Thank you. Man, I was going to make us pay more taxes. I'm trying to be a shady person here. Thank you. 76,980. Okay. Yeah, we don't want to have to pay more taxes. That'd be even worse. Okay. Now we can go and look and see. Okay, 76,980. 76,980. Okay, I'm only going to make it to this second bracket this time. So I'm going to owe $2,200. Oops. All the flipping people online are like having seizures here looking at 2,200 plus, I swear this is going to be my last flip, 12% of the amount over 22,000. So do a little side work here. So 76,980 minus 22,000. Do better math this time. So that's the amount in that second bracket that we're going to be taxed for. So we're going to be taxed, so 54,980 times 12%. But that one line that we have right here, that's the only thing we need to calculate. So I finally have found something good about the federal tax bracket. So $8,797. I'm making sure I'm not doing crazy stuff again, because now I'm getting paranoid that I'm going to 60. There's my amount of tax. We're not asked for monthly or weekly or anything like that. That's just tell me the tax and we're done. We're done. So using the charts can make this very easy if we just take our time. You make $124,900 this year. Man, we're making a lot of money today. How much would you pay in Social Security and Medicare taxes? On this one, I want to know them separately. Don't put them together, please. Still going the decimally route here. And it really just comes to type it in and call it good. And as long as you can type it in correctly, unlike I did earlier, it's not going to be too big of a deal. And we can get that set. Almost there. The annual cost of Tyler's Family Group health share insurance premium is $26,500. Oofda. His company pays 85% of the cost. How much does he pay each year for his family's insurance? He's not paying $85. Tyler is paying 15% of that. Again, if we take our time, the math isn't that bad. Okay, each year. That's how much he pays each year. But again, read carefully. If he is paid every 2 weeks, how much is taken out of each check? So again, if this would have said weekly, that would have been divided by 52, but it's every 2 weeks. So it's twice as often. So we're going to, or no, half as often, not twice as often. That'd be 104 times you get paid. That'd be wild. So divide by 26. So 975 divided by 26. Means each check, Tyler's going to have about 152.88 taken out. So now we're going to find out. We're going to find out where the rubber meets the road, when an old person says. Yes, the final question of this preview. Oh dear. The mega question. Brad is being offered a job at a starting salary of $120,000. The employer offers a health plan that costs $650 a month and an additional $50 each per month for vision and dental insurance. His company also offers a 401k match, you always say yes to these, of 4% of his monthly pay. Brad is married with 3 children. He lives in Kentucky. Calculate how much Brad will take home each check if he is paid monthly after deductions and taxes. If Brad needs to take home $7,000 per month to cover his expenses, will he if he takes this job? Okay, I'm going to get straight down to business on this part. So here we go. Calculate Brad's monthly gross pay. Monthly. There's his yearly. Divided by 12. Gross before anything's taken out. Brad's making $10,000 a month. Straightforward. Letter B. Subtract Brad's insurance costs. So we start with $10,000. Insurance, $650 a month. And $50 for vision and $50 for dental. And 4% of his salary on the 401k match. Now, here's where we got to look here. I'm going to do that on the monthly because we're trying to figure out what's going on with the paycheck rate here. So, if we have got 10,000 times 4%, I should be doing that in my head, but for some reason I'm not. And add my 400. So let's see here. 10,000 minus 1150. So right now, Brad's still doing good. He's still over the 7,000. We're feeling good about this. Oh, wait, though. Oh, wait. The government is still coming for us. So let's roll down a little further. Calculate Brad's federal income tax based on yearly salary. Subtract what he saves from being married and dependents. Divide by 12. Okay. Hurdy to the rescue again. Ready to go with this information. He is married. $25,900 deduction. Hallelujah. And 3 kiddos. Oh, 3 of them at $11.50 each. There we go. And take that away from the 120,000. So that's how much is taxable. You're like, oofda, dude, this is getting kind of crazy. Then it says, then, I'm trying to give as many directions as I can. So then divide that by 12 because we want to know what this part is going to be. But I can't divide by 12 until I see how much income tax he owes. So I go back in, and I'm like, 90,650. Quick flip back. I got to find my chart. There it is. Married at 90,650. So we're into this one, barely. Okay, this is the Brad bracket. So 10,294. Right now we're doing Fed, though. But you're right. 10,294 plus 22% of the amount over 89,450. Man, that ain't much, is it? $1,200. So I'm going to do a little work here. How do I want to do this? I'm going to do it this way. Okay. So after we take that tax out, we're going to take this because we want to see what he's taking home per check so far. We're going to divide it by 12. I'm just looking at one thing. Or did I just do something that I wasn't? I'm going to read my direction. Subtract what he saves from being... Oh, no, I was supposed to... Oh! Hang on a minute. I know, it happens. I didn't read my own direction well. So once I got that, let's do this. It happens. If I have to fix this later and put up an update video, I will. Okay. That's what I meant to do. How is that possible? That's possible. Okay. So Brad's tax for the year, that's what I wanted to do, would be $10,558. I had to figure out what was taxable, take away the dependents, do that. Now, to see how much he pays per check. I have an idea in my head already. So in taxes, Brad's going to pay that $879.33 per check per month. So I start to look at this, and I'm going to say one more thing because I am going to actually have to put the rest on a video later. Because in a moment, Mr. Day is going to come in to tag me out because I have to make it to an appointment that got switched of mine. But I will say this, because somebody will ask a question if I say start to do these last couple. Here's the last one I want to do with you. The state income tax, since we talked about it. Kentucky, 4.5% flat rate. Okay? The one thing I'm not going to do here, because I dug in and found this out just to see if I could find one. Kentucky is a state that it's 4.5% no matter what. They don't take away for dependents. They don't take away for nothing. So, in Kentucky, that whole $120,000 that Brad had at the start of the year, we are going to multiply times that 4.5%. $120,000 times 0.045. That's the tax rate. And if we want to see how much that is per check, I can find that out that way. So here's what I need you to do to finish off now, even though I'm going to put the rest of this up later. Social Security and Medicare, you've got the percentages back there. You're going to add up the answers from these three and subtract it by how much he was taking in a month and see if he's still making more than $7,000 at the end. I'm not going to tell you in advance if he is, but it's going to be close. It's going to be close. So do your Social Security, your 6.2%, your Medicare 1.45. Follow these directions better than I did. I did good except for that one spot there. And see how that goes. Like I said, I will post the answer to the end of this a little bit later.